Hey, okay, so being close to Halloween, I wanted to talk about a game that's centered around candy. Now, I have to admit that I'm currently playing um, one of those Candy Crush games to relieve stress. and, but the thing is that I remember a game that had like the king logo to it and everything. I remember that bright orange and yellow, and the title of it though was Chupa Chups, and I know that that's one of their products. So I went looking for it, and the name that I have is Zool. So I'm thinking that because see back then, back in the early '90s and late '80s, well, more early '90s than anything else, what they were doing is they were putting discs in cereal and products, food products, and you would get these discs and you would get like shareware. So it was like a section of the game and and everything, and so you would get interested in the game and then you would buy the full game. I can't tell you how many of that we had. We had like Warcraft and this particular game, and well, that's how we got Commander Keen, and there were a bunch of others. Um, so I have a feeling that it's possible that it's Zool that we got, but it was just the section that had, because it has product placement in it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about Zool. So, fun little fact. Yeah, I can't tell you how many of those discs we had, and I think we still have quite a few of them. Oh, good heavens. Anyway, and it's funny because my mom talks about how when she was in middle school and high school, the you could get like singles, music singles from like the Archies and the Monkeys and that sort of thing. So she says, "I wish I still had mine." Anyway, so Zool, Ninja of the Ninth Dimension. It's a platform game. It started with Amiga, and then it branched out, of course, with like MS-DOS, which is what we had, and then, of course, Game Gear, Genesis, SNES goes on. And Zool is a gremlin ninja of the ninth dimension. He's forced to land on Earth in order to gain ninja ranking. He has to pass 7 lands, beating a boss at the end of each of them. There are many games, including several arcade games, a scrolling space shooter, and a game accessible only by making Zool play a certain tune on an in-game piano or finding certain invisible warp points. Now, this particular character, Zool, or the game, I should say, was intended as a rival to Sonic the Hedgehog. You're pretty much shooting yourself in the foot there because as soon as Sonic came out, he was popular and continues to be. I mean, you look at the outrage for the look of him for the live action film. Two young adult novels based on the games entitled Cool Zool and Zool Rules. I love wordplay so much. It's fantastic. They were released in February of 1995. So this was released in 92. And the reception was critical. Some people said that the graphics were fantastic. A lot of people said that the graphics were fantastic, which they are. I mean, they're crisp and clear. They're wonderfully made. I've seen, well, you've heard me talk about a lot of these different games where it's like the sprites are just awful, but the backgrounds are amazing. This one, you're getting both. I mean, the character, the little sprite is crisp, clear, amazing. And the backgrounds are are fantastic. So, and the soundtrack, where was it? The soundtrack overlaps with the Lotus 3 soundtrack and inspired several modern electro-techno remixes. So, one person in their critique stated that the character moves much too fast and with little control, so it sounds like they were trying to make Zool too much like Sonic the Hedgehog. And while others basically praised the graphics and the soundtrack or the sound effects, and they said there was a crisp gameplay, but it's like that doesn't really. I mean, they were very vague, and I mean, when you're playing a game, you pretty much. I would think that you would actually talk about the fact that. Yeah, the character isn't doing anything, it's not responding, it's very glitchy, it's not. I don't know. Now, it did get a sequel the next year in 1993. When the forces of Cruel are wreaking havoc upon the ninth dimension with the help from his henchman Mental Block, the intergalactic gremlin ninja Zool, alongside his female companion Zooz, Z-O-O-Z, and their two-headed dog Zoon, are entrusted with the task of stopping Mental Block and restore order to the dimension. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think I love this one more. So it received positive reception from critics who praised the graphics and the sound and the gameplay. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything said. Let's see, what does it say? Praised the graphics, stating that Zool's ninth dimension is a shiny, inventive world that's equal parts candy shop and toy store. Oh, tells you something. Now, it says that pretty much when you play the two characters, they share some of the same movements and that kind of thing, except Zoo's has, what was it? An energy whip for close quarters combat. Slow down, dyslexia. Along with the ability of shooting projectiles as well. It sounds like Zool doesn't have that. Each character is capable of destroying certain parts of the scenery that the other one could not, and vice versa. Resulting in a slightly different route through the levels. There's mini games, such as a version of Breakout, which involves using Zoon, their pet dog. So, oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I would rather play the second one before playing the first. Now, there are gameplays. I know for at least the first one. I don't know about the second one, but that doesn't mean anything. A lot of times with some of these games, gamers like to put them together with the two games. So, I mean, it all depends. So, if I find one or both of them, I will again put it in the description for you. And but Yeah, I don't know that this is the game that we played, but also, we would get those shareware in the inside cereal, and so I have a feeling that Zool is what we got. Now, the other thing that I want to say is apparently Zool is a British video game. Um, yeah, I think that's what I read. It's not an American video game, it's a British video game. Yeah, I want to make sure to I want to make that clear. So, but anyway, so I will look for a gameplay for you guys so you can watch. And so yeah, it's funny how the memory kickstarts. But anyway, so that is Zool and Zool 2.